Okay.
Yeah.
So, Nick, believe it or not, I'm going to start with Brew here because I have a sense of where you are. Well, I'm just saying.
Oh.
Brew?
It's right there.
Seems like Patrick Mahomes agrees with you.
I was going to say, we just talked moments ago and we all deferred to James Bradbury because he said, I held him.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes just said, not yet. Patrick, thank you for watching the show.
Brew, can I ask you a question?
I have said the same. Nick,
Brew,
I am with you.
Do you
they
think he's
will
the most
be
talented quarterback ever?
Absolutely.
Do you think if he was asked that, he'd say it?
He might. I don't know. I don't know. But I know what he just said. I just think, and I hear you on that question. I don't think he would say it. But I think he's factual on this. Nick, he knows like 2 in 4 years, that's not a dynasty. Yeah. And even earlier, I think you admitted it with me when you said we can't judge them like we did the 70s and the 80s because of free agency.
Yes.
But that's moving the goalposts.
No, it's not.
That's admitting the dynasty, the Steelers won 4 and 6 years in the 70s. The Niners won 4 and 9 years in the 80s.
Then why was everyone not held to the 60s Celtics standard? Got to win eight in a row.
Well, that was just,
what?
Bizarre. Why? I mean, that was... No, but there were 8 teams in the league at one point when they were winning those championships. So that's a big difference. But now, like, 3 and 4 years is the standard. I think maybe as soon as next year there'll be a dynasty. But there's no way they can be called anything but a mini dynasty.
Here's the reason it's wrong, though. Here's the reason they are, is because to me, dynasty means you define and dominate your era. And I have had to hear.
They've done the AFC.
No, hold on.
The whole league.
They absolutely have the whole league in context to what the rest of the league has done. Because who is in
So if you're the best team in an era, if you don't win
and win multiple championships with no down years, that is always there. Like the Patriots had to win the third because in the midst of it, they missed the playoffs entirely. Who is
in a 4-year run? Would you rather have this 4-year run by the Chiefs?
It's a 5-year run.
Or the 4-year? A 5-year run. Would you rather have this
one
than 3 Super Bowls?
Yes.
Why?
Yes, because it has been sustained excellence every year. And in a single elimination sport, sometimes bounces go against you. But the fact that their worst season, the worst year, is 12 wins and a loss in overtime of the AFC Championship game, and their best year is they run roughshod over the NFL, that is, by definition, dynastic, is particularly when you consider this. The other teams, Greg, to win a championship during this run were either the end of something, the Patriots, who won it in 2018, have not won a playoff game since, or they were one-offs. The Bucks were a one-off. They won one playoff game, then they were terrible the next season. Now they're done. The
so
Rams
if you want to say they're the best, they're the best team of the last 5 years. I'll give you that. I think everybody would give you that. But would that be a dynasty? There's not a dynasty all the time.
Correct, but there is right now. When you have the best coach, the best quarterback, and you never have a down year, everyone knows you're the best. It's semantics otherwise.
Nick, we understand.
What, that I was right about it and I'm going to be right about this?
That this is a really good team.
No.
But they're not a dynasty. They haven't won 3. 3 has always been the number.
Right.
Like, since when have we lowered
when
it
the
to
70s
2?
Dolphins were a dynasty.
I don't think
with
they were
2.
dynasty.
No,
they went to 3,
I'm going to tell you because I was in this position. In 2011, when we were getting ready to play the Pittsburgh Steelers, they had won in 5, they had won in 9, and then they were getting ready to try to win again in 11. You know what we heard? This team, if they win this, they're a dynasty. If they win this, they're a dynasty. They didn't win. We don't talk about that Steelers team being a dynasty. Why? Because they only won 2. I understand what you're saying. They've been to 5 straight AFC championship games, and they've been extremely great in the AFC in regular season.
And by the way,
they didn't cap it all off. But if they had 3 right now, if they had won the one against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you got us. Dynasty. We're all throwing balloons up. This is a dynasty.
But the Steelers thing, to me, Wildes, is not the right comp because one of the things that was held against the Steelers was no one thought they were the best team of that era. Yeah, they were in the midst of the Patriots run and the Colts, while they weren't a dynasty, obviously, the Colts and Patriots were both year over year considered the best teams. And the Steelers, under 2 different coaches, which also hurts the dynasty part because it's the same core, same coach-quarterback combo, over those they were teams that had great playoff runs, but were not considered the preeminent team. So it's a very different circumstance in that.
I understand what you're saying, but the same could be said about the New England Patriots when they would miss the playoffs and then they would come back the next year and then they win the whole thing. Like they never just, we're just going to be here and every year we win it. That
right, which is why I view the Patriots as two separate dynasties. The one in the beginning and then the one at the end. But
I do think when we think of the Patriots, like the Brady era in New England, it was a dynasty. I get separating it for the sake of this argument, but it was the same coach, same player. We think of the Brady era, don't you? The 20 years was a dynasty.
Yeah, we were rolling. But will you accept travel-sized dynasty?
No.
Like a small
No.
shaving.
I think everyone will agree with you, Nick, that they will be a dynasty, but not yet.
Okay.
He's so serious.
They are travel size.
Would you
like
accept
little
the
lotion,
I won't accept
little
the
thing of
travel dynasty.
lotion, you know?
It's they check every box, and everybody. Here's the thing.
They don't check everybody.
They do
don't
check every
agree.
box. Because here's the thing. Everyone knows they're winning a bunch more. And I can look outside. I screwed this up last week. I'm going to get it right.
Okay.
I can look outside and see the ground's wet and know it rained overnight without having to see it myself. We all know it's happening. And so the fact that you guys want to be like, no, we have to wait. We can't fast forward time. And what I know is the Patriots, yes, from 01 to 04 won 3. They also won 3 from 01 to 14. If you think the Chiefs only win one Super Bowl over the next decade, we can make that bet too. But they are going to leave in the dust what that original 14 years of the Patriots did, and then we'll see because what the Patriots did at the end is very different.
I think we met in those small ketchups that you get sometimes. Like a little Tabasco. You're like, look at this.
That's the Chiefs.
Look at this little green top on it. It's something.
They're close, Nick. They're getting it.
Andy Reid on Patrick Mahomes. Take a listen.
Well, luckily, Andy, I exist, so I got that covered for Patrick. So Bruce said something earlier that's exactly right. If Patrick Mahomes never plays another game, he's one of the 3 best quarterbacks ever. He has passed Favre, he has passed Marino, he has passed Elway, he has passed Rodgers, he's passed everyone, he's passed Peyton Manning, who, because Peyton has a but, which is he actually got a touch worse in the biggest spots. His postseason numbers are far worse, actually, than his regular season numbers. It's now Brady, Montana, and Mahomes as your 3 best quarterbacks ever, and that's not projection, that's if he never plays again. So is he on track to become the GOAT? Unequivocally, absolutely, undeniably, yes. And I will do this quickly, but the numbers are jarring. So he's first all-time in everything in the postseason and actually improved his career postseason numbers this year while playing 11 of the 12 quarters this postseason on an injured ankle. We can show you the next one. He's the highest scoring quarterback of all time in the regular season and playoffs. He is the highest scoring quarterback all time. He actually goes up his points per game in the postseason. And now the stuff, Brew, that really legends are made of. What about when you're trailing? In his career, he wins almost 60. He's a playoff quarterback if they started every game down 10. Second best is Brady. What about in the postseason when trailing? Well, he has 4 double-digit playoff comebacks now. Only Brady has more, and he has 34 starts to catch up with Brady. What about Super Bowl down double digits? Well, the entirety of NFL history, we can show it to you now, I think. Brady has 2 of them. Mahomes has 2 of them. There we go. The rest of the NFL history is 0-45.
That's nuts.
That's down 10 in the second half of Super Bowls.
Right.
And so, of course, he's on track to become the GOAT.
Yeah, I'm with you. And I'm not trying to start a Jordan LeBron debate, but when Jordan first started playing, people were like, we haven't seen this before. Remember
That's
Bobby
correct.
Knight called him the best player
ever before he ever played in the NBA.
Before he started in the NBA. Like, and so this guy's the same way. I totally agree with you. He will be the GOAT. I don't say it because, and you didn't use this today, but the 5-year test, because Brady was on pace to win 13 rings and all that. But I say the eye test, we haven't seen anything like it. The numbers that he'll have will dwarf Brady's and Montana's. And then he's the driving force. Like Brady was not really the driving force for those first 3. I mean, they got great when he got there, but he wasn't the driving force on the field that this guy is. Clearly the reason they're winning. So I agree. He will be the GOAT.
Yeah, he's on track. I mean, he laid it all out there. It's really.
How many you think he
Fred's
needs?
really coming around.
Rings.
It's
I
really
think
coming
5.
around.
You said what?
I think he needs 5 rings.
No, and so I don't even. And that's my only issue with it. Like, I don't care if he gets 5 rings. I don't even care if he gets to 4. Like, the dude is just flat out good, because when you do things that have not been done, I get it. Brady has 7, and he is the
you
GOAT.
gotta. Don't you think there's a certain number of rings?
He's got to get to 4.
I think 4 would
4
be
is,
like,
across
because it's
sports,
more
always the
realistic. But
threshold of championships.
to try to make it seem like he can get to 5,
I
6,
think 4
7.
is all you need.
4, that's it.
Yeah. 4.
But you think he's gonna win way more than
How many
4.
guys have 4?
Just real quick, can you do the math on Brady's Super Bowls minus 4? See where we end up. I'm not sure, but we're going to get that information and tell you after the break, and then we're going to update it.
Speaking of dynasties,
Oh,
I
did
was
the
told on Friday the Eagles, if they don't turn into a dynasty, it's a massive
Oh, yeah.
underachievement.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, goodness.
You
The
should've led
takes
the
were
show with
flying,
this.
baby. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.